Alright, welcome back. Now, when I was looking at my ships, I have noticed something very interesting on the whole of this venture. It has received the insignia and has some inscriptions into the hull that I will show you in a moment. I noticed this on the Enforcer for the first time. I think the Pacific also has it. I'm fairly sure the Allegiance also has stuff like that. And it seems the developers have added these little details on the higher tier ships. Now, I think most of us can see the ore sign on the hull of the Venture, very close to the kill marks on the ship. And I think I have seen the same on some of my other higher tier ships. I'm fairly sure the Enforcer, all the Concord ships have them. But I am not entirely sure about some of the cruisers, for example, not entirely sure about the Stabber 2. Now I have a sleeper nanocore on this ship. This is basically my version of the Vagabond. I fitted this ship like I would fit a Vagabond from EVE Online, and that's how I keep this cruiser. I haven't used it in a while, but let me see if... Let's actually try and look at a Rupture Interdictor, which should be a default skin ship that I have here. I don't have an nanocore on it, I think. Yeah, it's default, okay. Well, I do see the insignia right there. Also very close to the kill marks, that's kind of funny. I also like how the color variations are present. I guess that's one way to decide which side is right, which side is the left side of the ship. I don't know why they have separate color patterns, but in any case, will be time to blow up some ships. I think I should have some pretty interesting targets today. Pretty interesting targets and surprising targets at the same time, I would say. And I don't say it lightly, because I thought I have seen everything in the 5-6 years of me playing the game, but every time I try to even think about seeing everything, the game loves to prove me wrong, and the game throws me something completely unexpected. And we have a Praxis. Now the Praxis, my experience with the Praxis is they can be either very cheap, very bad build, or they can be very expensive. There is no in between. I haven't seen a Praxis that has a not too expensive but not too cheap of a build. It always goes in the two extremes, being bad or ridiculously expensive. So I took my Dominic's Navy, although I originally thought to take a cruiser for this, because why not? I mean, a Praxis isn't a big threat in most cases. A cruiser can handle it just fine, but I took the Dominic's just in case it was a bait. I actually initially thought it was a bait, because they have been sitting at the Serpentis base. Usually if you see such ships in a base or anomaly, that reeks of a bait. And I thought originally, okay, this Praxis could be a bait, and I took one of my better ships that should be able to handle such occasions. Well, there's a Praxis, a very big ship when you look at the hull, and I launched all of my drones, focusing fire. 3 scramblers and 1 point. That's usually what I roll on the Dominic's Navy. Well, yeah, it's the Bombard implant. A very nasty implant. Especially nasty on the Dominic's. Initially, when I looked at the loot, I was kind of confused. I said to myself, okay, that definitely is not a bait. That popped very quickly. It's what you would expect when you drop something like a Dominic's Navy, because again, this thing has some pretty broken DPS, unfortunately. I'm not a fan of the broken DPS, but it is what it is. And here I actually was a little bit confused. I thought I stabbed my Dominic's, but apparently it's not stabbed because it's unable to warp. And then I realized, oh, it's the siege mode. That's what prevented me from warping. I actually thought it would automatically turn itself off when you click warp. Apparently not. Not really sure why I thought that. In any case, let me warp away now. Should work. Should work, I think. This thing should be stabbed. Although I forgot what build I have on it, because I fitted it once and I left it alone. Because there wasn't really much of a... I didn't have to change the build on this thing too much. Now, the main question. What did I catch here? What kind of value does this Praxis have? Because the loot did look interesting. The loot definitely looked interesting. I kind of knew that it would be a expensive target, but I will leave the surprise before I open the kill here. And here we are, 7.4 billion is Praxis. The worst part, look at the low slots, B types, and as usual, none of it dropped. 4 large generators and 2 B-type adaptives. None of them dropped. I did get the drones that are also expensive by itself, so not going to complain too much about it, but I really needed those extenders. I really needed those B-types. I would say the B-types and the extender were the main loot of this ship. Of course that doesn't drop. But let's say I take the Praxis, if I eat myself at gate guns or something, you can bet I would drop everything. You can bet that will happen. Always happens. When I lose a ship like that, it will have dropped everything. We all know that already. I always drop everything when I pop. No, not just me. My whole corp, basically. We all drop everything when we pop. It's so annoying, but it is what it is. Anyway, now I had timer here with the Astero, and a quick speed dial to some of my friends because there was a Rattlesnake just hanging around in the mission, and I scan it down. I obviously will not have enough DPS for Rattlesnake with the Astero, so you know, you do a little call, and either have more ships in most cases. Now we are. No, I'm basically the warp in here. We are waiting for. Well, I'm waiting for the fleet to work here. And the good thing is we have time. The Rattlesnake is. I think they just started to run the mission, and I'm creeping around. I will engage the Rattlesnake with the Astero. A little frigate combat is not going to hurt. Actually, this is my old Astero. I've had this ship for like 4 or 5 years now. It's been in my arsenal for a very long time. One of the first Asteros ever built. Basically got it on day 1, right after I logged in from a contract, or after, I think it was a contract. The first one built, one of the first ones built. It is expensive though. I can't really sell it because no one wants a 5 billion ISK Astero. This has some very nice integrations, by the way, for tank, but I use it for scanning and for exploration, occasionally for PvP. Actually, quite often for PvP in the last week or so. I've been using it a lot. Okay, we have a tackle on the field. Perfect. Another thing is tackled. Now the big boat is going to land. I will also engage with my Astero. We'll orbit outside of my scrambler range because if the Rattlesnake starts to lock me, I will probably have to warp out because they might have the Bombard, and that will be enough to delete a frigate easily. Back in the day, it used to be different. Back in the day, the Rattlesnake was a very juicy, very easy target for fast ships. Now things changed because of implants, unfortunately. I say unfortunately because the implants are so annoying in most cases. Even though I have a high level Bombard, I will still complain that it is a little bit too strong. That implant is broken. But still it is. I mean, I use it. We all use it. I think at this moment we all kind of gotten used to it in one way or the other. Well, Rattlesnake is slowly losing shield. Obviously, my damage is nothing compared to the Vindicator that will do the most damage here. I am doing a full micro orbit around the Rattlesnake. Well, I mean, it is a Rattlesnake. They have a bonus on shield resistance, and they can potentially be very tanky. The Rattlesnake, when it comes to tank, is definitely a formidable opponent. There is no denying it. And the Cobra, the upgraded version of the Rattlesnake, is also should have more tank, actually, way more tank. I did fly the ship once or twice, and I liked it actually. It was a very nice ship. But I still don't have any of the new battleships, because you can see my wallet. 3 billion ISK ain't much. In any case, the Rattlesnake has been destroyed. This is a good catch, actually. Let's see what's inside of the wreck. That's a good catch. You will see why I had criminal timer. I actually used the Astero for another target within the system, and then the Rattlesnake popped in while I had timer. I had scanner, thankfully had scanner.
Warp drive active.
The Astero is surprisingly a good tackle ship. I should fly it a lot more. A 3 billion ISK Rattlesnake, it had some tank, a yellow hardener, and okay. Not exactly the ideal build that I would personally use on a Rattlesnake, but you know, it's better than an armor tank, that's for sure, or much better than a hybrid tank. There is no denying that. So that's how things went. I think the most cursed ships that I have seen were Rattlesnakes when it comes to tank and build wise. Rattlesnakes and Prophecies, I believe, are the most cursed ships that I've ever seen. Now I don't know why the Rattlesnake, particularly when it comes to faction battleships, but I firmly remember back in the old days when I actually cataloged all the cursed builds. I had the highest number of cursed Rattlesnake builds out of any other battleship. It is weird, I have to admit. I don't know why was that the case. I think it still is the case. It's just that I don't hunt nearly as many Rattlesnakes as I used to. Most of the Rattlesnakes back in the day are now in high-sec, I believe. Actually no, there is still a lot of Rattlesnakes. It's just that they see me local, they vanish. That's just how it goes.
Accepted.
That's a problem that I'm having recently. Missing ships because I get recognized. Might actually have to make a alt and give the alt a tackle ship, interceptor or something, and use my alt to tackle and then drop the main ship. But as we all know, I like when we hunt, I like to play with one account. I enjoy the most that way. I can easily do 2 accounts, or even more actually, but I think I enjoy the game the most when I use only one account to engage ships. Now we have a Drake. I don't know where I put my offense drones. I'll just pick whatever I have backup in the Stratios. I'll use the Stratios. Why not? As we see, I am maining drone boats now. Primarily my main weapon system and ships are drone boats. I mean, the reason why, it's because of the implants. I dropped a lot of ISK in the implant, and you know, if I already dropped so much ISK into implant for drone boats, might as well fly drone boats for a bit. I enjoy them a lot.
Warp drive active.
And I kind of started on drone boats back in the RB days, so I went full circle, tried every weapon system out, and yeah, I said to myself, you know what, I'll just stay with my good old drones. And I have a very special place for drone boats in this game, so you know, can't blame me for using drones. It's also funny how they went from one of the most hated weapon systems in the game to one of the most broken ones. If you remember back in the day, I think most players have been complaining about the drones. They were expensive and they haven't been up to the task compared to the other weapon systems. Well, how did the times change, didn't they? Anyway, that's a Drake. That's a Drake, alright. A speedy Drake. The main issue with the Stratios is its speed. I complained a lot about the speed on this thing. It's one of the slowest cruisers. But honestly, with time, as things changed, I kind of started to not be too bothered by the speed of this ship, because honestly, whatever speed you're getting with the Stratios is gonna be enough. Honestly, if you're playing it properly, any speed you have will be enough, because you will not be relying on the micro warp drive or an afterburner to catch stuff. You will warp at 0 on them and tackle them at 0 within the scammer range. Now, where is the shield on that Drake? I have questions. Where is the shield on that Drake? That was too easy, actually. That Drake went down way too quickly. I'm not really sure if I want to look at the build. I just have a very bad feeling that we're about to see another cursed build here in a moment. I just that feeling.
Warp drive active.
You get that with time, with playing the game a lot. Once you play the game a lot, you can kind of recognize when a build is good, when a build is bad. I don't know what to say about the build on this Drake, but we're about to find that out very soon. Hopefully very soon. If I didn't warp to a station or a gate or something, that would be pretty funny. The good thing is the expensive drones are actually out of the ship. Okay, I didn't mess up my warp. That's good. Which means time to see what we caught. Okay, torpedo launchers, not bad. Okay, not bad. Not bad high slots at least. Oh no! What? Triple small battery, triple small booster build. Okay. You know, when I said I seen everything, you know, this is the game proving wrong, because I've never seen a triple small booster build Drake in the game so far. That's the first 5-6 years into the game. First time I see that. Okay, now we have an Astero and Rattlesnake that we destroyed a bit earlier in the video. I could have taken the Stratios, but you know, I decided let's give the good old little Astero some action. This little ship deserves some action as well. And I actually had like 30 kill marks on this ship. In the old days, this ship actually was used for PvP. I did hunt with the Astero at one point, did hunt battle cruisers and stuff like that before implants, before anything like that was released. That was a long time ago, and I honestly enjoyed this little ship a lot. It worked really well back in the day. Well, there is another Astero, and they are doing exploration. I think they are doing exploration. Yeah, I think they are doing exploration. They are in the site after all. So they definitely have a blue scanner, and since they are here, I assume that they have the analyzers. So fingers crossed for good loot drops. Fingers crossed for that. I would appreciate a decent loot drop once in a while, even though loot is not my primary thing that I seek nowadays. I just look to have fun. Literally, the reason why I log in is to have fun. Honestly, the game is meant to be fun, meant to have a good time. That's a micro warp drive, I believe. Okay, we are creeping closer and closer to the Astero. Let's just yeet. Should be close enough. There we go. Scrambled and launching my own drones. I need to give offense drones to the Astero. I always forget to do that. But when it comes to frigate PvP, especially with Bombard, yeah, that's usually what happens. Astero yeeted. And yeah, not the best analyzers, unfortunately. Did get a small micro warp drive that I definitely will appreciate, but I was kind of hoping for
Warp
something
drive
more expensive. Maybe I'm asking for too much. In any case, good catch. I should probably start to hunt Asteros with my own Astero. Should work really well. Although I prefer the Stratios because it can actually hunt other ships as well. But it's not a bad kill. Unfortunately, nothing too expensive dropped, but nonetheless, it's still a good catch. I am not going to complain about that. 56 million is mostly from the micro warp drive, I believe.
Undocking.
Next, let's go to the next target. I took the good old Prophecy 2 command. Now, there is a reason why I don't like to fight Prophecy commands one of the reasons is this thing is scary. One of the ships that I actually don't like to engage too often is a prophecy command. I fly these things. I know what they're capable of. They are ships that you don't want to underestimate because they slap. This thing can have some pretty scary DPS. Okay. Now, I'm waiting for my friend to log in. We have a Celos inside of a mission. However, I have a feeling that this Celos could potentially be baiting, and I kind of don't want. I want them to warp off when they see the prophecy warping in. So I would like to tackle them first with an interceptor, and then drop the prophecy on the cells, just to prevent them from warping off. So I'm waiting for my friends to log in, and then when my friend logs in, I will do a fleet warp. I will stop my own ship from warping because I need to wait for tackle, and then when the Celos is tackled, I will follow quickly after. So we just have to be a little patient, and we have to wait. Okay, let's fleet warp. There's a Celos. I'll fleet warp, quickly go back, stop my own ship, and now we wait for the interceptor to tackle the ship. And we wait. When I see X in fleet chat, I am going to warp. Hopefully they're not stabbed. If they're stabbed... Okay, there we go. Tackled. Perfect. Let's go in. Thankfully it's not too far away. The good thing is about the prophecy, it warps faster than usual. Warps faster than most battlecruisers. That's what I'm trying to say.
Warp drive
and
active.
Let the yeet begin. Bombs loaded, cooldown also done. Offense drones loaded, and there is the cells. 60 kilometers. Okay, I should have 85 kilometer drone control range, so I'll just launch my drones and let the drones run towards the Celos. Seems the Celos is trying to catch the interceptor, but good thing is the interceptor is fast, so that's good. The drones should, there we go, they reached the Celos and they're already starting to do some nasty damage. Yep, that's the Bombard implant at work.
We're under attack.
And Celos been destroyed. That was a good catch. That's a very good catch. Perfect. Nice work. Excellent tackle. I kind of expected them to be not exactly at 0. That's why the interceptor was so important, because the interceptor has a bonus on the overall point distance. I think they also have an nanocore for that purpose, so it's easy to tackle stuff even if they're not perfectly at 0. Okay, let's warp away and
Warp drive active.
let's see what we caught. 3.2 billion ISK. Okay, a cloaky Celos has a cloaking device. We will look at the details in a bit. Let me just align myself and let me take a look at what we have here in detail. I had a theory that it is a bait Celos. We're about to check that. Well, two scrummers and a red, two scrummers and a red scanner. It does seem like they have been looking for PvP, but I'm not really sure about the low slot modules. The low slot modules is what I have a problem with when it comes to that build. I don't know. Maybe there is something. I don't know. In any case, let me show you a little bit of overkill. I mean, this is pretty much right after the Celos was caught, and there was a venture, and it was already tackled. So I have a timer, and well, you know, there is nothing.
Drive active.
Actually, what am I saying? Does overkill exist in Eve? I think it does. How many times did I see dreadnoughts being dropped on destroyers? Way too many times, actually. That was pretty funny too. Well, that's a very unfortunate adventure right there. A very, very unfortunate. This is the example of being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Well, rip, I guess. Was already tackled, so don't want to let the tackle go to waste. And yeah, one drone was more than enough. Yeah, poor venture. I actually feel bad, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Welcome to Eve, I guess. Wouldn't be the first time. Okay, let me warp out. I added a bit more criminal timer on my own end here, but it is what it is. I don't feel too I actually feel very safe in the Prophecy command because, again, this ship is nasty. It's able to eat a faction cruiser in a couple seconds, and I can load bombs twice. So I'm also not really worried about that. I can even trace interceptors down with the drones. Even the light drones go like 15 km per second, so I have a whole beehive in that ship. And let's go to the last target for today. I wanted to do something pretty funny. I always love to fly the Battle Venture or the Black Ops Venture, or I don't know how many nicknames I gave this ship. It has a lot, but I like to call it the Cloaky Venture, the Black Ops Venture, Special Edition Venture. A ship that was requested by the community a while ago. A venture that's able to cloak. And we did get that. I'm very happy that we did get something like this. Although most players that fly this ship use it for the more normal purpose that's for this ship, and that would be mining. In my case, I'm not exactly a big mining pilot myself. I do alternative mining, which requires you to fly a mining ship with weapons.
Warp drive active.
And then you go and hunt other mining ships, and you take their ore that they mine. That's pretty much alternative mining in a nutshell, explained quickly.
Warp drive active.
Well, that's what this ship is actually good at. Alternative mining, because no one will suspect a venture of having teeth. Well, this one has teeth. And let's go after the Venture 3. Orbiting at 0. Scrambled. I didn't load the bombs because I thought it would be too much. No bombs required. And the Venture has been destroyed. Nice, not bad. Let me take the minerals and materials and whatever the Venture had inside. Well, it was funny. I always love to do some alternative mining occasionally. And well, with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed. That was a fun little run of some unexpected ships, that's for sure. And that Praxis at the start. I have questions. I really have. The loot fairy wasn't happy with me, that's for sure. The loot fairy was displeased, and the loot fairy decided not to give me those tasty modules at the start. But with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed. If you would like to support me, feel free to like and subscribe. And with that being said, stay safe, play safe, and as always, I'll see you next time.